Our correspondent is joining us now from Abuja to talk to us more about the challenges MSMEs are facing, especially in Nigeria. Hello, Lara. Talk to us about how difficult it is for MSMEs to get capital. And are there statistics about failed MSMEs in the country?
Okay, thank you very much, Hadiza. Let me give you a little background on the World MSME Day, which is the genesis of all this. The MSME Day started in 2017, and the theme of the first edition of the World MSME Day was on how to make MSMEs more impactful in our economies. The second MSME Day was on youth dimension, on how to improve youth involvement in MSME businesses. And the third one, which will hold tomorrow, is on accessing finance for MSMEs in our society. A major challenge confronting the growth of MSMEs in Nigeria is that of access to finance. Nigerian banks very many times are not ready to give MSMEs credits. Usually they tell them bring your business proposal, and they tell them it's not bankable. Or even when they want to give you the collateral for any particular loan, anytime they want to give you a loan, the collateral which you're supposed to meet is usually beyond the reach of most MSMEs. Even for the big businesses, they complain. I know recently the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria met with oil palm dealers in Abuja, and he said that about 30 billion naira facility had been given to players in that business so far in the last 1 month. And I spoke with one of the players in that industry, and he said he had put in an application to access about 4 billion. He's a big player in the oil palm industry anyway. And he said he had put in an application to access about 4 billion naira from Nigerian banks. And even though the money he was trying to access from the banks was an intervention fund given by the Central Bank of Nigeria for onward disbursement to players in the oil palm industry, he said the conditions the banks were giving to him at that level, I mean the collateral they were asking him to bring, was beyond his capacity. He said they wanted him to bring collateral that was above 4 billion naira. And he said he had reported the banks to the Central Bank of Nigeria, and there was some kind of meeting that was going to happen between him, the banks, and the Central Bank of Nigeria to think of a better way of making the collateral easier for him to meet, and so he would get that loan. So what I'm basically saying is that the problem of collateral and accessing funds from Nigerian banks is not just a problem of small players in the industry, like Diane that you saw in my report. It's also a challenge for big businesses. Nigerian banks are more interested in giving finance to businesses where they know that they will get paid back that loan, and they will make quick returns on that investment. And the Central Bank of Nigeria is focused on growing non-oil sector businesses like manufacturing, for example, and it's pumping funds into the banking sector for onward disbursement onto MSMEs. And the Central Bank of Nigerian governor has hit the ground running. He has said there will be more interventionist measures for MSMEs in Nigeria, and we're expecting to see that the banks will begin to give these loans to these businesses at single-digit interest rates, maybe at 9%, for example. And we're hoping that that will impact more businesses, and the likes of the lady in my report will be able to access these loans.
MSMEs indeed account for about 60 to 70% of total employment in any country. Lara Afolayan, our correspondent there, talking to us about the challenges they are facing in Nigeria. She's in Abuja. She's our correspondent there. And according to Amina J. Mohammed, MSMEs are key to creating the 600 million new jobs needed by 2030 to keep pace with the growth of the world's working age population.